All right, welcome back to my channel. Here we are going to be looking at how we can answer the questions that have to do with this particular problem. We are going to be looking for the value of radius R1 of this arc, and then radius R2 of this arc, and then we also determine the value of radius R3 of this arc and radius R4 of this arc. All right. So in this case, we are applying the principles of tangency in the construction of this template. Okay, so what we are to do for us to get the value of radius R1, okay, so that we can draw this arc, when it comes to the application of the principles of tangency, for us to draw this particular arc that touches this circle, these two circles as we see it here, and radius of this arc is 50 millimeters. So we need to look for this point intersection of this arc of radius R1 and this arc of radius R2. We need to look for a point where they meet, so that when we take the radius of this arc, which is 50 millimeters, we put the pinpoint here at point P, and that will make us to draw this arc that touches these two circles as we see it here. Now, how can we get the value of radius R1 and radius R2? Let's take note of how this circle, how it is on the two circles. Okay, let's take note of it. Now, what you have to do to get radius R1 is that you have to add the radius of this circle. Look at this circle, this radius R1. It is drawn on the center of this arc. The center of this arc is this center of the circle that we have here. So for you to get R1, you have to add the radius of this circle, 44 millimeters, and the radius of this arc, 50 millimeters. You add them together, and that will give us 94 millimeters. I already put 94 millimeters here. Then for us to get R2, we have to add the radius of this circle, 32 millimeters, and the radius of this arc, which is also 50 millimeters. We add them together, and that gives us 82 millimeters. Okay, so once you have R1 as 94 millimeters and you have R2 as 82 millimeters, you take a compass, take a measurement of 94 millimeters, put the pin at the center here, and then that will make you to draw this arc as we have it here. Then you take 82 millimeters and then you put the pin at the center here. Then you draw this arc as we have it here, and both arcs, they intersect at this point. Then you now take 50 millimeters, which is the radius of this arc, put the pin at point P here. Then you will draw an arc, and we have this arc touching these two circles, touching this circle at point T1 and this one at point T2. So that's how you can determine the value of R1 of this arc and R2 of this arc. Now, as I said, so for this radius R2, so the value of R2 is 82 millimeters, 82 millimeters. Then let's look for how we can get the value of R3. For R3, so for R3, we are talking about the point intersection where this arc of radius R3 and R4, where they intersect for us to draw this arc of radius 120 millimeters. So when an arc touches two circles in this form, so what we have to do to determine the value of radius R3 and radius R4 is that we are going to subtract, for this particular circle, we subtract this 44 millimeters. We subtract 44 millimeters from 120, and that was 76. So that was 76 millimeters. Then we subtract 32 for R4. We subtract 32 from 120, and that gives us 88 millimeters. So what we have to do now to get the point intersection of these two arcs of R3 and R4, which is point Q, is that we take 76 millimeters, put the pin at this center of the circle, and then we draw this arc. Then we take 88 millimeters, put the point here, at the center of the circle, then we draw this arc. So the two arcs they intersect at this point Q here. Then we take 120 millimeters, which is the radius of this arc. So put the pin at point Q, and then it will touch the pencil point will touch a point here on the circle, and then just draw like this. Then that makes us to draw this arc, which touches this circle at point T4 and touch this one at T3. Okay, so as I said, that radius R3, so radius R3 is 76 millimeters, while radius R4 is 88 millimeters. Okay, then here we have that the point T is technically called point T is technically called, so we call it point of tangency. So we call it point of tangency. So point of tangency. Okay. So point T is technically called point of tangency. So it's as simple as I've explained it. Just pay attention to my explanation and get it done. So thank you and God bless you.